Hello there, trash film readers. I'm Alex Megaro. I'm a film director and also the writer of the very site you are currently reading. I've conducted a few interviews thus far through email, but right now I am in the presence of a very special man. Similar to the titular character of Wolfram von Eschenbach's Parsifal, I too have found the Holy Grail. I watched a film called Devil's Express and managed to track down one of its stars, and he was kind enough to talk to me for a little bit.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
Wilfredo.
How's it going? I hope everybody's well. My name is Wilfredo Roldan. Roldan, R-O-L-D-A-N. And I'm here to answer some questions from Alex, and let's get busy.
All right, well, why don't you tell me, first off, about your upbringing?
I was born in Puerto Rico. We moved to Philadelphia, then we moved up to the New York area. We were living in the Gramercy Park area, which none of our people are up there anymore because that area is like totally changed. I was raised on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, Alphabet City, and below Alphabet City. I spent a stint living in the projects, which was an awesome experience growing up. I wouldn't change it for the world.
All right, so how'd you get involved with acting initially?
Well, this is what happened. We were doing a movie. The first movie that we did was Force 4. It was a shit movie.
Also known as Black Force.
Black Force, yeah. And that was a shit movie. And in that scene, they featured me. I wasn't the lead. I didn't have the lead role, but I was featured because of my fight scene with Grandmaster Ruiz. They liked it. They liked the expression on my face. And what happened was an old Grandmaster was talking to somebody, a filmmaker. Owen Watson was talking to a filmmaker. And they were saying they were going to do a film with another Grandmaster called Aaron Banks. But Owen Watson slipped underneath and said, we could do a better film than that. So he ate up the guy's mind, and we did Force 4. And I had a nice time doing that. I really didn't make that much money. But at the time, it was really exciting to be on the film. And when I saw my face on the film, I was like, whoa, look at that shit. I look pretty good on film, I would say. You
look pretty good right now. So
thank you.
Back then, you were a stunning young man.
Yeah, stunning young man. And I was just one of the actors in the movie. I don't consider myself a star yet. I don't have that kind of shit. But it's a funny thing. Somebody told me, you're a celebrity. I said, yeah, celebrity means people know you. Doesn't mean you got money.
All right, so let's focus on Devil's Express, a.k.a. Gang Wars.
Yeah.
This film is insane.
Yeah.
I guess tell me, how'd you get involved with that to begin with?
Well, it was all part of all these films we did. We did Force 4. After Force 4, we did Velvet Smooth.
Yeah, it was the same director as Force 4, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Velvet Smooth. We did Velvet Smooth, which was nice. I had a nice. I had a really good play in that movie. I get killed, of course. I died. Shit, I'm dying all the time. They killed me. They stabbed me, and I was like a numbers runner. It was very interesting because my father was may he rest in peace. My father was a numbers runner for the mob.
Okay.
It was a funny thing because when he got arrested by the federal government, the mob sent a lawyer and bailed him right out. So he probably was a good moneymaker for the people. He was like he was like an associate. My sister don't ever like for me to talk about his past. And I said, Pop, he did it. He stole numbers. Everybody knows he stole numbers, But then after Velvet Smooth, we did a movie called The Super Weapon with Ronnie Van Cleef.
Really?
Who was a martial arts pseudo documentary. So after we did that, then the director was put in that he wrote the script in specifically for me. The way I talk, the way
your character in Devil's Express.
Yeah. Which didn't take that much acting, But when I was working with my Shakespeare teacher, when we were going over some scenes, he'd say, "Man, where the fuck did you get that?" When he saw the movie, The Devil's Express, he says, you know your shit. Man, I see you in the movie. I said, so this is where you get that shit from. I said, I got it from somewhere.
I'm glad that the Shakespeare teacher is complimenting you on your shit and that you know it. So now, for those of you who have not seen it, I did write an article on Devil's Express. It's a mashup of every genre you can even think of. It's a
horror.
It's a horror film. It's a zombie horror, martial arts action film,
movie,
street gang warfare film.
Yeah, it was pretty strange that I was the lead of a black gang.
I know. That's what I was going to ask you. You're the lone Hispanic member
of the black gang.
Of the black gang, and it's never brought up. You guys just get along. Yet you're constantly at war with the Asian gang, who wears their own logo on their T-shirts, which I found kind of odd.
The Red Dragons.
Every shirt has a red dragon on it, so you all know who to fight.
When we were filming the fight scene in Chinatown, it was a funny thing because some beautiful Chinese girls came around and said, "Hey, how come the Chinese are losing?" I said, "The Chinese are losing." I said, "Well, it's an American film. You know Rambo. They got in Russia. They got a Russian version of Rambo. I don't know what the hell they call him, but he's a Russian.
Putin,
probably from Putin. Putin is an asshole. With today's technology, he can't bring back the Russian Empire. Forget about it.
Well, I think it all died with Ivan Drago.
That's right.
Well, anyway, tell me some stories from on set of this movie. I mean, you got the script. What do you think of is it as insane on the page as it was on the screen?
It was weird because back then they didn't have that much special effects things, so when the monster like what they did, they went to the supermarket and got chicken livers and chicken gizzards, and so when the monster became the monster and his shirt opened up and the chicken gizzards came out, he looked like he was transforming. The transforming of the hand was like they painted the hand green, a little bit at a time, cut, paint, they put it all together, it looked like the monster's hand was turning green. What I like about the movie was filming upstate, when we filmed in the cave and I stole the amulet.
I was going to ask you, yeah, so your character steals this ancient Chinese amulet.
And I released the monster.
Yeah, you released the monster that's, sort of hinted at in this prologue that is apparently taking place in 200 BC in ancient China, which is upstate New York, you're telling me?
Yeah, upstate.
Okay.
We did it in
I was going to ask you where ancient China was, because at one point, your character and the main character, played by Warhawk Tanzania, you guys go on a trip to China, which is clearly just some eastern seaboard area of the United States with Chinese flags. So that's upstate New York, you're saying?
We filmed it in upstate New York, and part of it we also filmed, when we went to visit the master, we filmed at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden.
That's okay. So ancient China's Brooklyn, of course.
Yeah, Brooklyn. But it was, it's a Japanese garden, but yet it was a Chinese monk.
It's clearly not China.
Okay, and the head monk who killed everybody, he's Japanese. He is a Japanese sword master. His name is, I believe it was Otani. And he did the whole cutting of the samurai, did the samurai stuff. Wasn't really Chinese. The Chinese different. They don't work their weapons like the Japanese. It was nice working with some of the great masters that were there. Duncan Leung, he was a kung fu master. As a matter of fact, it was a funny thing because that long gown he had, I got it. I used to get it when I was a young man, and I used to walk the streets with that Chinese outfit, and everybody used to look at me like, "Man, who the fuck is this guy?"
So you're the leader of the black gang. You're Puerto Rican, wearing the Chinese gown. I love it.
Well, and everybody saw Bruce Lee, Chinese Connection. All of a sudden, a lot of guys walking the streets with the Chinese collar, kung fu uniform. It actually wasn't a kung fu uniform because it simulated the businessman's suit of Hong Kong. But the karate uniforms simulate the farmers, the Okinawan peasants. So their bottoms were calf high, and their arms, the sleeves always rolled up because they always had their hands in shit, and the rice paddies and stuff like that. But the transformation and the story of me stealing the amulet, and all of a sudden the monster wasn't really after me, he was after his power, which I basically took from him. And the Chinese recognized the amulet, and they went to this Chinese master.
He was some kind of master or holy man or something. All I know is he had some of the worst old man makeup that I've ever seen.
Let me tell you something. That guy also played the monster. The guy who came out of the subway, every time he closed his eyes, you saw a dot because he had his eyelids painted white and had a dot in it. He played like 3 different characters in the movie.
What was it like working on a film with such a small budget?
I was having fun. I didn't didn't know any of the technology of the time of the film industry or the film business. You know, I had a good time. I really had a good time working on the film. I even had a better time taking my parents to it. But working the film was fantastic. The stuff I learned on the film, the makeups that they did on the film when they burned my face, I really, really like that, the makeup job they did.
You should explain how you die in the film.
Yes,
So
they put my head in an electrical junction box.
The monster does, correct?
The monster.
Yeah.
He puts my head in the junction box, and I'm dangling, I'm choking, and then they make me up so my face is burnt. When we shot that film, that particular scene, I went to the restaurant. There was a restaurant in the neighborhood. I wanted to have breakfast after they did the makeup. I wouldn't look at the lady. I've had my head down, and yeah, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. I'll have this so-and-so. I never looked up once. So she put the plate down. When I looked up, she said, I said, take it easy. We're filming a movie down the block, and I just said, burn my face. You know, I scared the shit out of the lady.
And how long were you on that film? How long were you shooting your part?
It might have been a week. Might have been a week and a half.
That was 1
week.
Know? What did you think of what your character had to do throughout the film? And I asked because you were part of this drug deal in broad daylight.
That was fucking stupid. Now who the fuck is gonna fucking sell a kilo of cocaine in the middle of the fucking park? And the Chinese guy, and that I really didn't particularly care for. That was the weirdest fucking thing.
It makes no sense because also you're part of this deal. You get your kilo of coke very visibly in broad daylight.
Yeah.
You walk about 10 feet, and then two of the Asian gang members
that was
hold
a
you
setup.
up, point guns at you in broad daylight. You throw the kilo on the asphalt and just walk away dejected. It's amazing because it's ridiculous, but it's also almost like magnificently ridiculous. You know, like that's silly to absurd on another level.
I didn't like it at all because let me tell you something. I've seen other movies, you know, when people are making drug deals. They're not outside. They're in somebody's nice posh apartment or in a fucking dump. And the guy's over there cooking the fucking shit here so he can fucking smoke his fucking freebase and he's got the shit here. They say, oh, hey, I got the shit here right here, man. I can wait for you right now. What the fuck is going on here? Hey, you know what's going on? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I got the good shit right here. Well, you know, that was weird. That was fucking weird.
At the same time, though, maybe we're both wrong for commenting in a condescending way towards that scene because we're commenting on it in a movie where you steal an ancient amulet and it brings a zombie back to life.
But you know, and it's okay.
We're getting mad at some of the realism.
Everybody has to have an opinion.
I know.
Outside of that drug deal, it was a very good script. I liked the script.
You enjoyed it?
I didn't particularly care for the drug deal outside, not at all. At one particular point, the director wanted the Warhawk Tanzania to beat the master. And Grandmaster Ruiz, who was the choreographer, he said, that's no fucking way. That's just not happening. The fucking student never beats the master.
Now, let's talk about the other star of the film. His name is Warhawk Tanzania.
Yes,
Is that his actual name?
No,
somehow?
his real name is Warren Hawkins. So that's where you get Warhawk. Okay? Yeah, his name is Warren Hawkins. I don't even know if you can...
That's amazing.
Yeah, and he was a very, very good actor. He was heavily into the acting thing. He was in the same organization as I was. I think he was a brown belt at the time, and I was a black belt at the time. So, and he played my teacher. You know what was also interesting? Dealing with the egos of the actors.
Who had egos on that set?
They all had egos. They all of them.
Was it all the cops?
No, those actors, they were very good actors, you know, but some of the other guys that were karate guys, you know, they brought their karate persona with them too.
You were dealing with the martial arts egos.
Oh, yeah. I mean, forget about it. You know, back in those days, it wasn't how much knowledge you had, but how much ass you can kick. And also, so what happened is how much ass you can kick, and that's how you develop a group. Now, when Grandmaster Ruiz developed his group, everybody came down to kick his ass. When they found out they couldn't kick his ass, they joined him. And then after his car accident, they all said bye-bye because he couldn't castigate his children.
Did you keep in contact with anyone from that set specifically? I mean, what happened to Warhawk?
I really don't know.
Because you were in two. He was in Black Forest as well.
Yes.
You were in two films with him.
Yes. I really don't know what happened to him. He used to live in Brooklyn. I never really was in contact with him because I was busy in school. You know, I was busy in school. I came to serve my teacher once a week. I taught his classes and paid him for the class. I taught the class and paid him for the class. No big deal. That was part of my service to the system, to the martial arts system. I was in touch with a guy named Moses Ailia, who was in the film. He moved to the West Coast, working as a maintenance man for the, I believe, the school system somewhere in California. Some of the guys are dead. Owen Watson's dead. He died. Judy Soriano, she died also. She did Force 4 with us. You know, she died. She committed suicide. And all these people that were acting, they really wanted to be actors. They really wanted to be stars. Moses Ailia was the guy who played my partner in the bar. I'm talking to him. You know, he has the fight with L.C. Roman in the bar where he gets his throat ripped out. L.C. Roman was she owns a bridal shop now. She owns a bridal shop now, and she's not even involved in the martial arts anymore. A lot of people there are not even involved in the martial arts anymore, which is okay, you know.
All right. So I have this strange nostalgia, let's say, for 70s New York. And this is probably because I did not grow up with it. I only got to experience and see New York City in this way through watching movies like Taxi Driver or Basket Case or Nightmare. And it just seems like the city everything has a layer of grime and sleaze, and it's just incredibly appealing to me, perhaps foolishly so. Now, I didn't have to live there during that era, which comes off as being slightly more dangerous than today, but at the same time, it seems far more interesting than the Disneyland that Times Square and Manhattan has become today. But my question for you, am I completely ignorant, and what was it like growing up in that era, both for being an actor then and just living in New York during that time?
Well, it was very, very tough. During that time on the Lower East Side in the 70s and 80s, there was a lot of drugs going around. A lot of people dying from overdoses. Even some people think that they were surprised that I made it through okay, thank God. You know, it was tough, always tough. You always had to deal with gangs. You know, you saw gangs on one side of the street, you cross the street humbly and you walk down the street. And he said, hey, one of the gang members, hey, bro, Dan, how come you don't come around anymore? I says, I am doing some other things now, you know, but it wasn't easy. You know, schoolyard fights was a regular. Junior high school, I did all my basically schoolyard fights. Physical. I fought everybody. It was all very racial. You know, the Puerto Ricans and the blacks and the Italians over here. Everybody had their own clique. You know. As a matter of fact, just a story. I learned how to. Before I started martial arts, I used to read a comic book called The Judo Master. And in The Judo Master, he'd give you instructions in self-defense at the back of the page. Well, I learned a couple of techniques, and I went to the karate store, bought me a uniform with a yellow belt, told everybody I was a yellow belt. Well, I learned a technique in school, and all of a sudden, I learned this technique, and I told this guy in my English class to grab me by the neck. I had something to show you. So he grabbed me by the neck, and I sent him flying across the fucking room. Over the fucking English teacher's desk. He went flying. The English teacher looked and said, what are you, nuts? Right? Well, at the end of the day, I was walking out the building, and there was a big crowd behind me. I said, what's going on? I said, we're going to go see a fight in the schoolyard. We're going to go see a fight in the schoolyard. I said, okay, well, let's go see the fight in the schoolyard. But what I didn't know is that the fight was with me. And they were waiting for me. You know, they were waiting for me. Everybody, and there was the guy. So I'm fighting him, pop, and I'm basically beating him and I'm hitting him. It was like the UFC challenge. I had him on the ground. We were grappling. I was hitting him with the elbow, and he was white, and all his black friends, they were kicking me in the back. I mean, kicking me in the back and punching me in the back of the head while I was hitting this guy. Well, all of a sudden, the Puerto Rican contingency came around. They circled up. They moved everybody out of the way, and the fight was over because the police were coming. So we had to stop the fight. And actually, that guy, I won't even mention his name. When I saw him later on in the future, he really looked fucked up. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to say that some of these people didn't make it. They didn't have. I guess they didn't have enough dreams, or they didn't have direction. But that's what the martial arts did for me.
They gave you direction.
Gave me direction. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, I really... A lot of the teachers I had, they were not nice people. But they knew their shit. And so I had to take a lot of shit in order to learn some shit. What I learned from my teachers, although they had good techniques, I learned how not to be with people.
Were you acting while you were a teacher all those years? Or did you just, not give it up, but put it to the side for that duration?
I had to put it to the side because it wasn't paying the rent. I really, I didn't want to be a starving artist. I knew that from doing those films in the black exploitation, I saw the way these guys were living. I said, I don't want to live like this. So I went to school, became a teacher. I did that for 27 years, and now I'm back, and I'm enjoying myself. I don't have to write a letter to my mom, and she rest in peace. Like Mickey Rourke wrote his mom, I'm in Hollywood kissing ass. I'm kissing ass in Hollywood, Mom, trying to get some work. So
you don't regret having put off the acting career and becoming a teacher, or do you wish you did more of the so-called exploitation films or whatnot?
I really like to do it, but sometimes you have to. Grandmaster Peter Urban, who was Grandmaster Frank Rose's teacher, he said, in so many words, it is best to be... Hey, Kyle. That's my Shakespeare teacher.
Hey.
Grandmaster Peter Urban said, it's best to be loved in the bedroom, feared in the arena, and respected to the world of reality. That was hitting those three. Now, respect in the world of reality, you got a job, you're paying your rent. Loved in the bedroom, you know what that's about. Okay? Fear in the arena, of course. But one thing I learned about doing this new thespian shit stuff is that
you can curse.
It's just a fucking another venue. The mat is one venue. The stage is the same kind of venue. And the martial arts, you got to kick ass. Well, in acting, in singing, in anything, you got to kick ass. This motherfucker is not kicking my ass in this scene. I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to make sure the director doesn't have to rewrite the fucking script to give the guy more shit to say because I'm kicking his ass. All right? And that happened to a guy that I know who was doing a movie, and he was walking up the stairs to the movie, and the director was writing more words for another famous actor. And he says, what's going on? He says, man, you're kicking his ass. We got to give him more words. So they had to give the guy more words to make him look like a better actor. Yeah, this actor went away to jail for not paying his taxes. Okay?
Wesley Snipes?
Yeah. You named you nailed it. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I went to an audition. He was doing an audition for a movie called Sensei Daddy or Master Daddy. And I went up there and I shook his hand and said, look, I'm not interested in doing any extra work. I said, but here's I gave my photograph to his who was taking it, and then he went to jail. That movie was never casted. I really didn't, some people said, are you going to be a martial art actor? I said, no, man, I'm an actor who does martial arts. I said, well, you don't think you're ever going to be a hero? I said, I don't want to be a hero. I'm too fucking old to be a fucking hero. I don't have the fucking looks. I don't have the blonde hair. I don't have the body of steel that I used to have.
You don't have that girlish figure.
I don't have my girlish figure anymore. It's hard to maintain.
Regarding the previous question, what are your memories of 42nd Street back during that era?
Whoa, 42nd Street had a lot of movie theaters. They were showing kung fu movies all over that, and 8th Avenue and 8th Avenue around the Port Authority was the biggest guys out there selling hoes resale, okay, or wholesale resale. You know, pimps were out there. People were making money. The girls are out there. They had some sex theaters that when you pay your money, you go and see it. Everybody was smoking shit in the theater. You go see a kung fu movie, they were smoking here, smoking there. They had little ashtrays. As a matter of fact, when I was smoking back in the day, I was smoking some herb. And we went to a movie theater called I think it was the Sung Sing. The Sung Sing movie theater was underneath the Manhattan Bridge. Yeah. And we were smoking at the time. We were in the smoke. We were smoking. I took out a big, one of those smokables, and I lit the smoke. All of a sudden, this fucking light comes in my face. Pat! I said, oh shit, I'm fucked. Right? I said, oh shit, I'm fucked. Then the guy put the light in my face, and he said, smoking upstairs. Smoking upstairs. Great. So we went upstairs and we would smoke. We used to we also used to take wine. Little bottles of wine, and we all upstairs in the theater. We smoked wine and we smoked some stuff, back in the day. That was pretty weird, but then they outlawed smoking in the theater. Yeah, growing up, you basically get your morals and your stuff. By the time you're ready for high school, then you're ready to test almost like the real world, which was pretty weird because I went to all the schools except from high school. I went to all the schools on the Lower East Side. And then when I went to college, I went to study nursing for about a couple of years, but I realized I didn't want to be a nurse. Then I went to Hunter College and studied physical education and became a teacher after so many years going to college. And I really liked teaching. I mean, I got into it because I get out at 3 o'clock, and at 3 o'clock I go directly to the dojo, and I work out. I make sure I didn't take any homework home from the school. And I was like, I never was a pedantic. Pedantic, yeah, I wasn't a pedantic teacher. I wasn't. And the reason why I majored in physical education is so that I can be a better martial arts teacher. And plus, all the stuff that I learned from that segment, I would use it while I was teaching martial arts. And it was.
If you're learning that or studying that, you're essentially going to a form of medical school in reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you learn about the body and.
Yeah.
It's not the joke that people think it is. Like,
well,
it's
you know
actual,
what it was when I was teaching.
Serious education.
When I went to nursing school, I was teaching the patients karate. It was weird. They were all the old ladies and all the people in the beds. I'd have them sit at the edge. We used to do a thing called range of motion, where you take the arm and you move it around. And I said, why do I have to move the arm around? I said, if they're capable of moving. So I had the patients doing this. Then they started doing blocks and doing these movements while they were sitting at the edge of their bed. The fucking doctor came. What are you doing? I said, I'm giving them range of motion. What more of a range of motion do you want than real stuff that they're going to do? And that's what they're doing now.
So you were the innovator.
Well, listen, at one particular time you crack somebody's back and you were just giving them adjustment. Now you have to crack somebody's back. You need a license. You have to be a chiropractor. So they call it an adjustment. They don't call it chiropractic. Now, I got a guy named Ron Bree, who used to be, doesn't train anymore. He dislocated his shoulder. I did a diagnosis, a real medical diagnosis. I checked his range of motion, and I told him exactly what to do to fix it. After I showed him exactly this is how you fix it. I gave him the exercise, and he looked at me like I was fucking stupid. And I said, I'm telling you, man, this is what you got to do. So what the fucking guy does, the next day he goes to the doctor. And the doctor does the same analysis that I did, verbatim. Right? And I said, oh, the fucking doctor, man, he did the same shit you did. I said, maybe I should send you a fucking bill, you fucking piece of shit.
We should probably end this here. Do you have anything you would like to say to, let's say, the millions and millions of people listening? Would you like to plug your business, anything?
Yeah. Listen, I'm running a martial arts school in the Bronx. I'm still in the movie business. I was at an audition yesterday. I'm looking to do more work in the business, in the martial art business. I'm going to be basically teaching private instructions and preparing some actors for a particular film shoot for fighting sequences, and prepare people for that kind of stuff. Most of the daytime action is all private.
I should add that this interview is taking place in your dojo. Currently.
Yes, in my dojo, and well, it's going to be a dojo good enough after I can get rid of some of the furniture. But as you can see, I got a lot of photographs up. You know, if the walls have ears, they would talk.
Yeah, I think you're leaning more towards dojo than the other way. So
you're
doing okay.
Yeah. So I'm having a real good time running this dojo, and I'm really looking forward to doing more films. And I like fucking creepy. I like being a creepy character. Like Benicio del Toro, when he got his Oscar in Traffic, he was a real nasty fucking character. Real nasty. And I said, God damn, that is fucking real. Especially when they spit in his face and he took the spit and he took it. Just like that. And I said, damn, that's crazy. What happened? I saw an interview with him. That's when I learned he was Puerto Rican, born in San Juan. And I said, oh man, that guy's an inspiration.
Well, it's never too late to be the next Benicio del Toro.
Oh, well.
Wilfredo, thank you.
Yo, you know what? It's better to be a first-rate Roldan than a second-rate Benicio.
Words to live by.